in terms of what's coming next for us, we are working on even larger resolution devices, more advancements in all way, shape, or form. And the stuff around the next corner is incredible. You mentioned about our relationship with our customers. I appreciate that comment, and since you are one of our customers, it's really driving the cutting edge here in Indonesia. I mean, you have 5 RED cameras. These are 2 of your cameras that you're shooting with now. You're supporting feature films and TV commercials, and you also do post for RED, right? So you have these Red Rocket cards, and you're driving them in the DI tools and the editing tools, and you really got it. You know it, so people come to rely on you. We, as a manufacturer, also come to rely on customers like you. We want the feedback loop. We don't do this because we like being in business. We do this because we like cinematography and photography. We do this because we like what we do. So the RED is a really good first start. It's, you know, talk to customers, they'll say it's so far beyond anything else on the market, you can't even compare it. But we would consider this our first effort, right? This is our second effort. And everything about this is smarter, better, faster, higher. It's just, you know, Gen 2, right? So the resolution is over twice as much. The ergonomics and the industrial build is far superior. The way that we vent the air and keep the device cool, because, you know, it's a super high-tech amount of gear packed into this little tiny box. This is the camera. These are accessories, right? This is the actual device. Even the way that we record has evolved. So these cameras have our first generation recording devices, which is like a little drive pack like this, or these little compact flash cards. This is a specialized SSD module that we build, which is second generation. So, you know, the way it goes in is you just line up the little arrows there and you just plop it in there. And now I'm ready to shoot for an hour of 5K. Half hour on this is a 128 gig, half hour of 5K. We do a 256 gig module too, which will get you about an hour of 5K on board. 2 hours of 4K on the 256 gig. And when I'm done shooting, I take it out, load it into my Mac. I can view it, I can prep it for post, and basically all those crazy chemicals you used to use to process film and all the expense and the time. And this is, of course, reusable, right? So the cost of this is negligible when you think about a job that's shooting film, because it's beyond 35 millimeter quality in a digital domain. So I get to use it and manipulate this material right away on a computing environment. And when I know that I've got it, I can tell the production to move on, and eventually, you know, we keep this media for a little while, and then when we know we're happy with it, we put it back in and we recycle the media. If all things were equal price point, these cameras would still be the best imaging devices on the planet. But when we take the fact that our goal was to be as democratic as possible, to make a tool for filmmakers, regardless of their budget or their resources, that would not compromise their image. And what happened in that process is we sell a lot of them. So there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of knowledge base, right? When you have a lot of cameras out there working all over the world, you have customers that add to this universal knowledge base. And there's a user forum that we have on the internet that posts tons of information, and you can basically gather all kinds of valuable information. We post information from our company and give people updates that way. So we use the modern tools to keep the cost low, and it's worked out pretty well. We could say, you know, if you want to tie it to film terms, there's a bit of a renaissance of the 16 millimeter style of filmmaking, where a lot of owner-operators are owning their own cameras. The form factor is sort of small. A RED 1, if you show some behind-the-scenes shots of this, a RED 1 is about the form factor of a 16 millimeter professional movie camera. So it's small, it's lightweight, you can shoot it handheld, you can put it on a Steadicam quite easily. You can manipulate it, bring it to the jungles here in Indonesia without too much hassle. Work with a small indie crew without issue. So, you know, when you think about it, we have the logic of 16 millimeter, but the quality of 35 and beyond, without any of the chemicals and the film stock. So I can shoot the media as many times as I need to. I can view it on a laptop. There are many jobs that will go out with a crew of 2 or 3 people and a RED 1 camera and a Mac Pro laptop, in a MacBook Pro. And that's it, that's all they take. And you think, well, how are they gonna make a movie that way? And is it gonna look like a little DV movie if they make it that way? It's not. It's going to be the same exact quality as if they were shooting in a giant studio with 12 cameras and a huge post facility and all these things. It's so scalable. That's the wonder of the workflow, of being able to work with a digital tool that doesn't compromise the image. The state of the future, which is just around the corner, is that we are all going to be watching movies in super, super high resolution on gigantic screens. And that's really incredibly immersive, right? So you have the ability to work this file and use this material in such a way that it's not restricted by time. So if you shoot a movie with an HD camera, it's locked into the TV resolution world of today. But when we move into tomorrow, and this isn't just for cinemas, you're going to see, I mean, if I was a betting man, and I can tell you I am a betting man, you are going to see HD become tomorrow's standard def, meaning that the world will move well past HD for home environments, for corporate environments, and for cinema environments. There is, in my mind and many other professionals, no question that the 1080p 2K world we live in now is just a moment in time. Just like standard def was and 720p was, now we live at 1080, and you are going to see super high resolution in every environment. So with that knowledge, the best choices to shoot and protect your content for the future are either shooting the analog version, which is 35mm film, or shooting the digital high-res version, which is either Red 1 or eventually the Epic, for big movies, and you will have that negative, the digital version of that negative, that can live far beyond into the future. So, you know, big movies are looking at this and going, well, we're not going to shoot film anymore, because the minute we shoot film, we have to convert it to digital anyway, because we have a digital workflow. So we don't need to do the analog to digital conversion. We just want to shoot digital to start. But it needs to have the range and the hand of film and the feel of film and that beauty of what 35mm cinematography can do. That's what this does. And don't take my word for it. Ask David Fincher. Ask Peter Jackson. Ask Steven Soderbergh. Ask hundreds of other filmmakers all around the world. And they will tell you, because they've seen it. If you think about Sundance, 3 years ago, there were no red shot movies in Sundance. 2 years ago, there were probably about 15. Last year, there were about 40. This year, there were too many to count. Predominantly, the format of the movie shot at Sundance was red. There were a few others, some film, which is great, and some other sort of lesser HD style cameras, which is also fine. But the movie-making choice for indie was the red. You know, so we're kind of bridging lots of huge expanses that people said, you can get there with this camera, but you certainly can't get there with this. And now everything is just this big soup, and it doesn't actually matter whether you shoot with no money or a huge budget, huge Hollywood support, or no support at all. You can still make cinema quality movies.